You've heard people talk about stories, storytelling, the importance and the power of it, probably to the point where you tune it out anymore. But let me just jump in here and explain to you a little bit about why stories are so important and how they affect us. Now, there are external stories, which is the stories that we tell others, and then there are internal stories. And right now I'm going to talk about internal stories and how they affect us. Most of us don't have any idea what stories we tell ourselves. And we also are unaware that the stories that we tell ourselves consistently influence the actions we take. They influence what we believe to be true, which influences the actions we take, which of course influences our entire lives. So in a literal way, the stories that you tell yourselves shape your life. And so I have a question for you. What is one story you can identify right now? And please put the answers in the chat below in the comments. What's one story you can identify right now that if you changed it, it would serve you? One story that you can identify that if you changed it, it would serve you. This is such a powerful exercise. It is so simple and yet profound. For instance, I had a story for many years that every time I would have a problem with money or what I considered a money issue, hi Anita, that I had to go back and re-examine my whole sort of emotional history. Every time I would like pay a bill late or not have enough money while I was struggling to build my business to do whatever, right? Anytime I had something that I classed as a money issue, I would tell myself that I had to go back and go through this whole emotional evaluation process, looking deep into my childhood and doing what I consider now to be basically navel gazing. When I changed that story to the new story, which is sometimes when you're building a business and you don't have a lot of money coming in, you just have struggles with money, right? Freud famously said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, right? And so what that means in this case is maybe I don't have to go through this whole deep emotional evaluation just because I was late paying a bill or something, or I didn't hit my mark for the month. That shot me forward so fast and so powerfully because the truth is I had already processed. I had already gone through my money stories and my money history and my conditioning and the trauma and all that. And I had worked it all through. But I was telling myself a story that said, if you have a challenge with money, you have to go back and reevaluate and look through all of this stuff. And then I changed that story to, if you have a challenge with money, just keep moving forward. You see that? One of those is so much more empowering than the other. And as soon as I said it, it was true. Because I simply chose that that was the true thing. This is what I want you to understand about stories, right? So what effect do the stories that we tell ourselves have on our lives? A huge effect. Like, they are literally the difference between success and failure. See, the stories that we tell ourselves habitually influence what we believe to be true. They influence our feelings, and those influence our actions powerfully, I might add. They powerfully influence our actions. And of course, our outcomes, our success is really nothing more than a series of actions that created a result. We like to think it's more mystical than that. We like to think it's more high-minded than that. But in truth, our success is akin to building a building out of bricks, right? The success, which is the finished building, is just a matter of laying brick after brick after brick. If we tell ourselves stories about why we can't lay those bricks, guess what'll happen? We won't lay those bricks. If we tell ourselves stories about how hard it is to lay those bricks, guess what'll happen? We'll struggle, and therefore will yield less. So you see what I'm saying? The stories that we tell ourselves are at the root of the outcome of our entire lives. So that's the effect that our stories have on our lives. So with this, I challenge you. What's one story that you could tell, that you could change, sorry. What's one story you tell yourself that you could change right now? And if you did, it would have a positive impact on you. Answer in the comments below, please. Let me know. What's one story that you could change right now? And if you did, it would serve you. Thanks very much.